This is the story of Odoma Masquerade. Odoma Masquerade held a powerful and mysterious place in Modo town. Known for its reputation as both a keeper of peace and an enforcer of traditions, Odoma was feared and revered. Only men who had reached 18 years of age and undergone initiation into the cult could behold its presence. Women were strictly forbidden from seeing the Odoma Masquerade, as it was said to bring misfortune, particularly to pregnant women who risk miscarriages if they witnessed its form. Okonkwo, a respected 45-year-old member of the Odoma Cult, had proven his commitment to the organization, handling every duty, unflinching bravery and loyalty. His beautiful wife Nnenna was expecting their first child, but her pregnancy had extended beyond the usual time, stretching into its 11th month. That night, Odoma Masquerade was scheduled to emerge. Before leaving the house, Okonkwo assured Nnenna he was only attending a meeting, downplaying the night's danger. Nnenna, sensing something strange, asked questions, but Okonkwo brushed them off, reminding her that it was only customary to respect the mysteries surrounding the masquerade, and that night he must find out why her pregnancy has prolonged. He would expect answers from the elders of Odoma Cult. That night as he left, Nnenna slept. A haunting dream overtook her. In it, she saw the Odoma Masquerade gliding through the village, shrouded in darkness and wrapped in an aura of dread. The dream felt intensely real. She could see the sweeping mask and the deep echoing sound of Odoma's voice reverberating in her mind even after she awoke. Shaking, she told Okonkwo about the dream the next morning, her voice trembling with worry. Okonkwo's face paled, for he knew that the dream signified danger. Seeing Odoma even in a dream was considered a bad omen. Worse still, if the villagers found out, Nnenna could be ostracized, her pregnancy threatened by the curse. As fear settled between them, Okonkwo and Nnenna had to decide whether to seek a way to lift this curse or risk the consequences of keeping it hidden. The future of their unborn child and their place in Modo now hung in the air, a test of both courage and love against the weight of tradition. In the days following Nnenna's dream, Okonkwo became increasingly restless. The more he thought about it, the more he realized the dangers they faced. If anyone discovered her vision, he knew that the elders of Odoma Cult would not hesitate to enforce the rules. Still, he couldn't bring himself to report it, fearing the risk to Nnenna's life and that of their unborn child. Meanwhile, whispers of strange happenings began to circulate in Modo. A few villagers reported seeing shadows moving in the night or hearing low chants from the Odoma Masquerade that seemed directed toward their homes. Nnenna, sensing the weight of her husband's unease, asked him if they could seek the help of a medicine man or a diviner to rid them of the curse. Desperate, Okonkwo agreed. The following night, he took Nnenna to a secluded part of the village to visit an elderly diviner, Okanga, known for his knowledge of forbidden rituals and chants. The old man listened carefully to their story, nodding slowly as they recounted Nnenna's dream. His expression grew grave. Seeing the Odoma in a dream has no ordinary omen, Okanga began, his voice barely a whisper. You both tread on dangerous ground. The spirit of the masquerade has somehow sensed your child's presence, and it will not relent, but there is a way. Okonkwo leaned forward eagerly. Please, Okanga, we will do anything. Okanga signed, gathering herbs and a small clay ball from the shells in his heart. You must appease the spirit of the Odoma, he continued. This will require sacrifice and courage. At the midnight, before the masquerade next appearance, you, Okonkwo, must lead your wife to the Odoma shrine. There, you must cleanse her of this vision and speak directly to the spirit. She is suffering from the bondage that your father put her into. Your father had a covenant with Odoma that he is going to dedicate one of his sons to him. Unfortunately, your father did not fulfill that promise before he died. Odoma is angry with you. Nenna's face blanched. The Odoma shrine was forbidden to women under any circumstance. Even approaching it could be seen as a violation of tradition and would almost certainly lead to her banishment. But with her child's life at stake, Nenna agreed, her hand gripping Okonkwo's in a silent vow. The night of the masquerade's next appearance arrived. Nenna and Okonkwo crept toward the Odoma shrine, their hearts pounding with each step. They carried a white fowl, kola nuts, and a small pot of palm oil, offerings meant to placate the spirit. As they reached the shrine, an unnerving silence settled over them. Okonkwo knelt, placing the offerings before the shrine, and began to chant, calling upon the spirit of the masquerade to forgive them and protect their unborn child. Just then, a gust of wind swept through the trees, and a dark figure loomed in the shadows. It was Odoma, shrouded in the full regalia of the masquerade, but somehow different. Its form seemed both corporeal and ghostly, hovering between the realms of spirit and man. The figure spoke in a deep, otherworldly voice. Why have you brought this woman here? With a trembling voice, Okonkwo replied, We seek mercy, great spirit. She is innocent and bears a child, a new life for Modo. We only ask that you spare them. There was a long silence, and then Odoma's voice echoed, laced with an unsettling calm. If she is to live and bring forth this child, you both must fulfill the terms of a pact. You will owe me a sacrifice when the child reaches the age of 12. Okonkwo and Nenna glanced at each other, their hearts thinking with the realization of what this might mean. But they had little choice. Bowing their heads, they accepted the pact, bidding their child's fate to the spirit of Odoma. In the month that followed, Nenna's pregnancy progressed without further complications. She gave birth to a healthy son, whom they named Ikeodo, meaning power of Odoma. Though the family thrived, a shadow lingered over them, a reminder of the promise made that night, and the knowledge that one day they would have to face Odoma's demand once again. As the years rolled by, Okonkwo and Nenna raised Ikeodo with love and care, but the memory of their pact with the Odoma spirit haunted them constantly. Okonkwo, though a strong man who rarely showed fear, couldn't shake the feeling that the spirit was watching his every move, waiting for the day of the promise to arrive. When Ikeodo turned 12, he was an energetic and intelligent boy, well loved in the village. He was particularly curious about his father's involvement with the Odoma Cult, and he would often ask questions, intrigued by the mystery of the masquerade and the tales whispered about them. Okonkwo was careful to avoid answering these questions, feeling guilty for hiding such a huge part of Ikeodo's destiny from him. One evening, the village began to prepare for the annual Odoma festival, a night when the masquerade would dance to bless the land and secure a prosperous harvest. As part of the celebration, boys who had come of age would be selected to witness the masquerade for the first time, a rite of passage. Ikeodo was excited and hopeful to be among them, unaware of his parents' secret dread. On the night of the festival, Okonkwo and Nnenna sat Ikeodo down and tried to dissuade him from attending, but the boy was determined and his enthusiasm made it hard for them to refuse. As he pleaded, something in his mother broke, and she realized that it was time he learned the truth. "Come," she said softly, leading him to the quiet edge of the compound, where the distant sound of drums echoed from the festival grounds. Okonkwo joined them, and together they shared the story of that fateful night 12 years ago. The dream, the encounter with the spirit, and the pact they had made to save his life. Ikeodo was silent, stunned by the revelation. He looked at his parents, trying to process the weight of this knowledge. So, my life was saved by the Odoma spirit, and I am bound to it. Okonkwo nodded, sadness engraved on his face. Yes, Ikeodo, we never wanted this for you, but the spirit demanded a sacrifice. We don't know what it will ask for, but we are here to protect you. That night, as Ikeodo lay in bed, his mind was troubled with thoughts and questions. He dreamed vividly of the Odoma shrine, and in his dream, the spirit itself appeared before him, its voice deep and powerful. "Ikeodo," it spoke, "you are marked not as a sacrifice, but as a vessel. When the time comes, you will carry forward the legacy of the Odoma spirit, uniting the village in ways your parents cannot imagine. Prepare yourself, for your path will not be that of others. You are both man and spirit, chosen and bound." Ikeodo woke up the next morning with a strange calm. He had seen his fate, and rather than fear it, felt a curious sense of purpose. He looked at his parents with new understanding, his heart resolved. Years passed, and Ikeodo became known in Modo as a young man of wisdom and strength. When he was initiated into the Odoma Cult at the age of 18, he embraced the role fully, determined to bring a new understanding to the village. The spirit of Odoma no longer seemed like a distant, frightening force, but a guiding presence, connecting him to his ancestors and the land. Under Ikeodo's leadership, the cult became a symbol of unity, and Modo Village experienced a period of peace and prosperity that lasted for generations. Ikeodo abolished the obnoxious part of this tradition, that forbade women from seeing the masquerade. He rebranded the whole Masquerade Cult and made it accessible to every man and woman of Modo. Through Ikeodo, the spirit of Odoma was reborn, not as a bringer of fear, but as a guardian of the people, and so the ancient pact was fulfilled in a way none could have anticipated, transforming the legacy of Odoma forever. This is the story of Odoma Masquerade Cult. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Let's know what you think in the comment section.